This is a SnapEd New York video presentation.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Ask the Experts Nutrition Edition. My name is Lisbeth Irish and I will be your host today. I'm a registered dietitian with the New York State Office for the Aging and program manager for our agency's Older Adults SnapEd program. You will hear me refer to our agency as NYSOFA because NYSOFA is the abbreviation, and if you say that abbreviation like a word, it's NYSOFA. Our expert today is Ellen Colasano. Ellen is a registered dietitian with over 7 years of experience in senior nutrition and public health, and she now serves as the Chautauqua County Nutrition and Wellness Educator. Holding a master's degree in dietetics and a deep passion for community-centered programs. Welcome, Ellen.
Thanks, Elizabeth. I'm excited to get into it.
Thank you for coming. In today's episode, our expert Ellen will share her knowledge and expertise about food safety and sanitation. Ellen, why is food safety especially important for older adults?
So as we age, the immune system becomes less effective at detecting and responding to pathogens or tiny germs like bacteria or viruses. This means that older adults are more likely to get sick from contaminated food, and those illnesses tend to be more severe. Several factors contribute to this increased risk, like weakened immune systems, chronic health conditions, medication interactions, reduced stomach acid, and longer recovery times.
Why is food safety especially important for older adults?
So food safety is especially important for older adults who are more vulnerable to foodborne illness. I like to focus on simple, practical steps that are easy to apply at home. Like proper hand washing is a must. Always wash your hands before, during, and after preparing food, and especially before eating. So a good rule of thumb is to wash your hands for about 20 seconds, or about the time it takes for you to sing the chorus of The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. I'm not going to sing for y'all today, but the point is we shouldn't be gambling on our health. Another point is keeping surfaces and utensils clean and avoiding cross-contamination. That's basically when germs from one thing, like raw meat, accidentally spread to something that's ready to eat, like your sandwich. That can make you sick. And then another point is safe food storage is key. So refrigerating perishable items within 2 hours and keeping your fridge at 40 degrees or below. And using leftovers within 3 to 4 days. I also remind folks to try to thaw your food in the fridge and not on the counter, and cooking those foods to proper internal temperatures.
Speaking of proper temperatures, what is the proper internal temperature for cooked meat like chicken or hamburger?
That's a great question and a really important one for older adults. So it's safest to follow USDA guidelines for internal cooking temps to reduce the risk of foodborne illness, since our immune systems are more vulnerable. And so here are some key temperatures. So chicken or turkey, whole or ground, should be cooked to 165 degrees. Ground meats like hamburger, especially during this summer grilling season, should be cooked to about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, when you have fresh beef, like pork, lamb chops, stuff like that, those can get away with being cooked to 145 degrees Fahrenheit with about a 3 to 5 minute rest time. And you'll want to do this for a few reasons. One being that it helps finish cooking. It's called carryover cooking. So it'll continue to get warmer. And then two, it keeps the juices inside, so the meat tastes better. And then fish and seafood, 145 degrees, or until the flesh isn't see-through anymore and separates easily with a fork. And leftovers like casseroles or anything leftover really should be cooked to 165 degrees. And it's important to use a food thermometer when checking. It's the most reliable way to make sure food is cooked safely. And especially because color alone, like pink in that cheeseburger, isn't always a dependable sign.
Thank you, Ellen. I know that information will be very helpful to our viewers. Ellen is now going to answer some questions from our viewers. How long can food sit out at a picnic before it becomes unsafe to eat?
Good question. So food really shouldn't sit out for more than 2 hours, or If it's hot out, like a 90-degree day, even 1 hour. The range of food temperatures between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit is known as the danger zone. And food left at these temperatures for that long can grow bacteria pretty quickly.
Is it safe to eat food past the expiration date?
Another good question. I know many of us were raised to go by how a food looks or smells. Maybe you open up a bag of lettuce and give it a whiff, say, oh, this is good for one more round. I completely understand that. But unfortunately, harmful bacteria can grow without changing the taste or smell or the appearance of food. And that's why it's important to pay close attention to those dates printed on packaging. And here's how those dates work. So the sell-by date is meant for the store, not really for the customer, but it will tell the store how long to display the product. And you can still eat it for a short time after, but only if it's stored properly, like getting that milk right in the fridge when you get it home. The best by date, or sometimes you'll see best if used by, this tells you when the food is at its best flavor or quality. And it's not necessarily a safety date, but again, older adults should still use caution, especially with perishables like dairy, deli meats, and eggs. And the use by date, this is the most important one for safety. After this date, the food may no longer be safe to eat, even if it looks or smells fine. And with leftovers, I think I mentioned this before, but labeling them is really important with the date that they were cooked and using them within 3 to 4 days max. After that, it's just not worth the risk.
If I have leftovers that are more than 4 days old or leftovers that weren't cooled properly, can't I just heat it up really well to kill the bacteria?
You know, I get this question a lot. So heating leftovers really well doesn't always make them safe. So there's some types of bacteria like Listeria or Clostridium perfringens that can produce toxins that aren't destroyed by heat, even if the food is steaming hot. And after about 4 days in the fridge, the risk of these harmful bacteria increases. So even though reheating can kill some bacteria, it won't make spoiled food safe to eat again. That's why I always say, when in doubt, throw it out.
Ellen, thank you so much for sharing your time and expertise with us today. I'm sure our viewers have learned a great deal.
Yay, thank you so much for having me.
For more nutrition information, be sure to check out snapedny.org. There's some great tip sheets and recipes on the website. SNAP-Ed programming provides no-cost education for those who are eligible for SNAP or currently receive SNAP benefits. To find out if SNAP-Ed programs are available in your area, call New York Connects at 800-342-9871. You can also find out more on the SNAP-Ed page of NYSOFA's website. Thank you to all our viewers for sharing their time with us. We hope that you have learned some new ways to save time, save money, and eat healthy. This episode of Ask the Experts was funded by the United States Department of Agriculture, and this institution is an equal opportunity provider. Be sure to look for new episodes of What's Cooking with NYSOFA on NYSOFA's Facebook and YouTube pages. Wendy Beckman, one of my colleagues at the New York State Office for the Aging and a registered dietitian, demonstrates how you can make delicious, healthy, home-cooked dishes that won't break the bank. Also be on the lookout for new episodes of Ask the Experts Nutrition Edition. You can find those on NYSOFA's Facebook and YouTube pages too. Each month I talk to experts who share tips and ideas on how to save time, save money, and eat healthy. And one final note, be sure to like and subscribe to NYSOFA's social media pages so you don't miss any new episodes. Thank you for watching.